Alright, we're going to talk a bit about different warframes that you can use for Tridolons and what I have found to be efficient and what you should be looking for and going for. First one up is going to be the Volt Prime, and the ability that I'm going to be focused on is the Electric Shield. When you put down an Electric Shield, it puts a little shield in front of you, blocks bullets, and can block certain attacks from the Eidolons, such as the things that bounce on your head. You can put a shield up there and protect yourself against that. If you shoot through it, you automatically get 200% crit damage multiplier. In addition, you get 50% electrical damage, which applies very nicely with radiation. If you have 6 shields, you get 50% electrical damage for each of the 6 shields. The crit multiplier does not get any better, but you do get 300% electrical damage. By comparison, I feel that, I've done a little bit of the numbers. This is the highest buff damage class. Better than the Chroma, better than the Rhino, but you'll have to do your own math to figure out whether you agree with me or not. But 300% electrical damage, 200% crit damage, pretty amazing. My choice is to go with a high duration because you want to have like 40 or 50 plus bonuses just to always have it up there. In this build, I use a huge amount of efficiency because I know I'm going to put down 6 shields at 25 mana apiece, so I want to drop that down to as low as possible. And that's pretty much it. I don't care about range, I don't care about strength, and I don't, I'll grab a little health mod so I have some health. And I'm using rage in case, I take damage, but have energy, pretty nice. I'm using a very low Vigilant Vigor so that I can get the enhanced critical effect from primary weapons. What that means is you have your crit and then you have your enhanced crit. So your crit does its roll and then this thing does its roll, and you can crit and you'll have like some crazy numbers. But it's more of a, it's a cheap 4 points on the frame that I don't have to mess around with. And additionally, you can go into like these arcanes, but I'm not going to go into. Well, I guess I'll go into it. This one gives you 100% reload, so if you don't have a negative on your Riven, you will automatically reroll with the Vectis, and you just go boom, 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 no problem, and you're always going to have a high crit chance, so it's pretty much always on. And I'm just using headshot rage damage, which may not be the most effective one, but it works. So that is Vault in a nutshell. So let me go over to another frame. We'll look at Chroma. Now I don't use Chroma very often, but I've seen a lot of people that do. And you're looking at Vex Armor, where you take some damage in, I think it's either the health or shields take a bunch of damage, and you get a huge damage output. Now this is a physical, I think it's called physical damage, or I forget what the damage type is, but it is increased damage. Let's say it that way. So if you have Serration, it's the same mod as that, so it's added on top of Serration. But because it's such a high value, even if you have Serration and Heavy Caliber, you're still going to notice a decent amount of increased damage here. I think the Volt performs better because it's crit damage and elemental damage, but yeah, that's kind of where my mind is as far as why Chroma functions a little bit less than that. But I mean, if you're not using heavy caliber, then you're going to have an even bigger. You're going to notice a bigger increase, and if your damage is and your Riven is not is crit damage and crit chance and multi-shot, you're going to notice that change too. So this is a frame that you can go with. I kind of been avoiding it just simply because mechanic wise I don't understand it too well. Additionally, you can go with a Rhino Prime. I have actually leveled them up, so I'm not sure I got everything set up for him right, but I'm really looking at Roar, which I'm not fully leveled, so I can't show you what that does. I think I can get up to like 150%, so you'll do 2.5 times damage with Rhino, which is equivalent to the Chroma build as far as buff damage. I'm trying to look to see if there's anybody else that was a buff class. I don't think there is anybody else that's like noteworthy to bring in here. So I'm going to go move on to Trinity and look at my Trinity build. My Trinity build is just using a potato and nothing really nothing really fancy, because I just want to have efficiency so I can slam my 4 skill. Boom, everyone gets healed, everybody gets shields, everyone heals, everyone gets shields. And I don't really, I just put down a ton of health and a ton of shields myself, because I'm not really going to use any of my other skills per se, because it's just a matter of I'm just trying to keep lures alive. So that's just my choice for what I do, is just using blessing and just slamming that skill like it's nobody's business. And I haven't had too many issues with it. Likewise, you can go with the Oberon. I haven't really used this guy too much, because I'm not too sure how to get the heals to work just right, and I just feel that Trinity, as far as a healing the lure thing, has a better effect. But I think there's something where Oberon's able to block the boss's magnetic damage if you do certain things. He is the best solo class for doing the Tridolons. I think that's true. I think I remember watching a video on that. That may have changed now. I'm not sure, but he's definitely worth looking into if you plan on soloing. So I'm going to look at now Harrow, and his abilities. I'm looking at Covenant. What's important here is you want between 4 and 6 seconds, because when those pulses of magnetic goes out, you want to cover the time in which those pulses are going out, but you don't want to have so much duration that your skill doesn't go back on cooldown or refresh, because you'll have 6 seconds of, say, invulnerability, but then you'll have 12 seconds of retaliation, and this skill cannot be cast again while it is active, which is not good at all, because that's bad. You do get a little bit of a crit bonus, so he's kind of a benefit there, and I think he can give mana to some people, but I don't want to get into what all that is. Skills wise, I'm going with another efficiency build, because I always want to have enough mana to just do that, because that energy drain is painful, and if I have to drop something, I want to go with an easy choice. So duration needs to be between 90 and like 110 duration. If you go any higher, you're going to run into issues where he goes raw and you're like, up, I'm on cooldown, this is bad. Or in the reverse, it's, oh, I didn't protect you guys long enough, and that's not good. Likewise, you can go with Limbo, and the skill that we're looking at here is the Cataclysm. You just need a big enough radius in order to encapsulate your team members so that they're inside the void and avoid damage by being outside of the normal realm of space. You're inside the void. So Harrow and Limbo are both characters to which you can avoid the magnetism. And let me see if there's anybody else that I missed. I hear something about Loki. I don't know him too well as far as what he can do. But that's kind of my breakdown of the different classes, and hope that helps out.